All right, I'm Beck Lane, and this is Catalyst and Company. Catalyst and Company, where we're catalysts in each other's lives as well as our own. And we work at being the artist we've always wanted to be. For some reason, over the past week, maybe even just a few days, I've been thinking more and more and more about how to make my work more marketable, I guess. And again, thinking about it again. And something hit me the other day. I've been really focused on doing these images from the William Bullard portfolio, the photographer William Bullard, focused on taking his images of the Beaverbrook community in Worcester, Massachusetts, and translating them into paintings, as well as other odd images, or random images, like a portrait I'm doing, or a figure painting and portrait I'm doing of Ada Overton Walker. There's all these people that I find online, these Black and brown and African American figures that I find online that I really want to capture. I'm deeply passionate about it, about capturing their images and making them into paintings. I don't know if it'll ever pay off. I don't know if it'll ever lead to anything. I have no idea. What I do know is when I feel this deeply about something, it always loops around in the end. When I feel deeply about doing something that nobody else is doing, it's not like I'm going to go find the oddest thing I possibly can and ride that dead horse into the ground. I feel deeply passionate about doing this thing, and I don't know why, but I'm going to follow that passion, that need to do that work. And so I have been in that mode of doing the work to fulfill that need in me. I hope I'm right in having the feeling that there is a larger audience out there for me, people who will appreciate the work that I do, and that it will come around to pay off in the end. But I don't know. In the meantime, I've been thinking about other things I can do that are a little bit more marketable. And I'm not an artist, because of my past experience of jumping through hoops. I'm not an artist who goes, you know what, I'm going to find the most marketable image possible and push that and make myself paint that until I hate everything about my life and hate everything about the work that I do. I'm not that person. I will not be painting Superman. I will not be painting Marilyn Monroe. I will not be painting Audrey Hepburn. I will not be doing paintings of people holding their iPhones. I will be doing nothing that is remotely popular. I find it kind of gross and weird, and I'm not one to placate. It's disingenuous. And the work, when I have done the work that people have suggested, it comes across as condescending and sour, and so it doesn't sell anyway. So who cares? I might as well do the work that I feel driven to do. And so behind me, we're getting there. Behind me are 3 portraits of Frida Kahlo, because I've been thinking a lot about my paintings of Yayoi Kusama. I was on my TeePublic page and looking at the Yayoi Kusama images that I posted and how many we've sold of those over everything else. And I don't want that to dictate exactly what I do. I don't want to keep painting Yayoi Kusama again till I hate everything in my portfolios and I hate life. But I was thinking, how do I take what I love to do and the images that people are attracted to and the things that my galleries are more inclined to sell or find customers for? How do I make everything incorporate? So the second, I think I said that correctly, the second the second most popular image I have is of Frida Kahlo, and I've only done one painting of Frida Kahlo, and we sold that at Blue Egg several years ago to a fellow named Bobby, a transgender gentleman named Bobby, who flew from Pittsburgh to Miami and built an entire vacation around looking at my work and buying my work. And he was there for a couple of hours looking at some of the paintings that we have at Blue Egg, and fell on Frida Kahlo. Bobby has since passed away, but the images, and I don't know where that painting of Frida Kahlo is now, but as the creator, I still have my images of Frida Kahlo, that painting that I can sell online through sites like TeePublic, which, by the way, they're having an up to 40% off sale until midnight tonight. And today is Tuesday, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Just to let you know, they're having a big sale. So I would suggest go online, look at my TeePublic page, and I've added a few more newer images. Not a lot, but just a few more. So I would suggest going on TeePublic, and I'll make sure the link is down below so you can get there easily. Anyway, that said, Frida Kahlo being my second most popular image, there are a number of photographs of Frida Kahlo online, and they're in black and white, which is my jam. They're in the time period that I like to paint, which is, you know, I like to paint from the 1800s through to about 1940, 1950 sometimes, but usually about 1940. There are a number of images of Frida Kahlo from when she was born, which was what, 1907, I think? I can't remember, to 1940 something or other. They're online, and so I decided the other day to kind of take advantage of that and find images that I am comfortable painting and producing. Find images of her that I'm comfortable painting and producing. They're not the most popular images of her, photographs of her, and I don't really care. I need things that make me comfortable and make me passionate about painting. So I found 3 images. We have Frida Kahlo. These are just started, so you have to excuse me. Frida Kahlo is a girl, Frida Kahlo is a young woman, and then Frida Kahlo is the classic Frida Kahlo that we know with her headdress. This is actually taken, and her traditional Mexican dress, way of dressing. This is actually taken from a photograph of her holding a young baby, a toddler. I just eliminated the toddler, and I'm going to stick to from the chest on up, the bust. One of the things that is often said to me is, oh, I hate this, you should paint smaller. I hate you shoulds. I hate people telling me what I should and shouldn't do, because you ain't me. But I was able to get some smaller canvases. These are 20 by 24, or 24 by 20. And that's pretty much as small as I can go. I was explaining this to people on my Patreon account, and I have private patron-only videos I've been making on my Patreon account. And I was explaining this morning in one of my videos. I have said this 8 million times, and people do not hear me when I say I can't paint small. I really cannot paint small. It is not, emotionally it's difficult, it's confining, and it confines my abilities. But also, I can't see. I can't see small. And now I will explain in detail so that maybe I might be heard, because I can't paint small normally. This is why I have I've had two stigmatisms since I was a child. My eyes don't cross, although in photographs I always look cross-eyed. In most photographs I look cross-eyed and ridiculous. My eyes don't cross when I'm looking at words or an image. I can't see it. They don't cross. I won't see one image like everybody else in the universe, apparently. I see dozens of the image, and they're bouncing around. So I can't really see the image. I've also got another stigmatism where my eyes do this. They'll shake while I'm trying to focus on the image. So we've got dozens of images or words bouncing around that I'm trying to decipher while they're shaking. And they're shaking, and there's dozens of them, and it's really difficult. Add to that, I had an accident, I'm trying to remember, 26 years ago, where I tore the nerve behind this eye, the optic nerve. So I have difficulty seeing out of this eye, and then in this eye, I get floaters. So when I say I can't see images to paint small, I mean I can't see images to paint small. With that in mind, I realized if I just took the busts of Frida Kahlo and applied them to these smaller canvases, these 24 by 20 inch canvases, it could possibly be done. And so that's what we're doing here. And we're doing her in stages, and not the most popular images or photographs from not the most popular photographs of Frida Kahlo. And I'm reasonably happy. These are just started. They're at Picasso level. Like Picasso, I'm looking at them the other day, I'm like, or last night, I'm like, they're still so wonky. As we go, they'll improve as I go along, but in the meantime, they're kind of like, they remind me of what Picasso would have called a finished image, where they're just blocky, let's put it that way. But I am going to be moving them along, and I'm going to be developing the background, not exactly like Frida Kahlo. With Kusama, I did do almost exactly what she would do in the background or in her paintings. With Frida Kahlo, I want to suggest the background of what she might do using tropical leaves. But I'm going to do them my way because I'm stubborn and I need to have my way painting respected and noted. And it's not just, here is a painting of Frida Kahlo. I need to be in there too. So this is what we are up to. I'm also looking at taking several, either one or two of the 24 or 48 by 24 inch canvases that I was able to get, and doing a couple of full figure poses of Frida. There's one in particular I really love. It's a little famous, but nobody shares it and reshares it, thank God, or I would be totally repulsed by it. It's Frida with several other women, and the women are all dressed up in traditional female garb. They're wearing dresses, but Frida is in a men's suit. She has her hair slicked back. We look at it now, in the time we live in now, and we go, oh, that's cool. But looking at it through that lens, that time is a contemporary time for Frida Kahlo, and it's revolutionary. Women did not do that. Women were not encouraged to do that. They were not encouraged to cross-dress. And it was frowned upon, and women were shamed. So I'm kind of drawn to it because it's got that dark quality to it, the underlying dark quality. So I'm going to be starting that. This canvas was actually going to be a painting of a woman from the 1930s, 1940s, Bessie, I keep forgetting her last name. This woman, Bessie, who owned 38 motorcycles. She was an African-American woman who owned 38 motorcycles, 37 of which were Harley Davidsons. And so I've been dying to start a portrait of her because she was an African-American woman who traveled through 48 states on her motorcycle. And that was extraordinary for the time. And adding another layer to that, I may have the opportunity, and I'm not banking on it. I'm not banking on opportunities anymore until I see the money. But I may have the opportunity to work with a Harley Davidson dealership in developing, and it's not now, it would happen long from now, or a year or two from now, in developing artwork specifically for this dealership. And I have said it would only be women on motorcycles. women on motorcycles, and a lot of African American women on motorcycles, possibly African American men as well, but I think the underlying connotation of women on motorcycles, and especially African American women on motorcycles, is the level of danger they took on just driving a motorcycle. Driving a motorcycle in most likely states or cities or towns where they're just being alive was not appreciated. So there's a real level of danger in what they were doing, and I find that so attractive. So I want to do these balls to the wall figure and portraits of women and possibly men, African Americans, who dared to take their passion out in public. People that were desperately passionate about riding and about Harley Davidsons. There was, now I can't remember his name, but in the Harley Davidson Museum, I think it's in Milwaukee, they have photographs and history on a man who opened the first Harley Davidson dealership in the United States, and he was in Milwaukee. I love people like that. They don't care what the world says. They don't care what the world says. They don't care how the world views them. They just go ahead and they do this thing that they're so deeply passionate about and feel so strongly about. You know, this gentleman who serviced his community in spite of the times, in spite of what was popular, the racist the racist attitudes that were popular at the time, and are, still popular, but so extreme at that time. And people like Bessie, who risked her life to follow her dream and her passion. She owned 37 Harley Davidsons. I don't think Jay Leno owns that many Harley Davidsons, and he's rich and a celebrity, but he's not nearly as daring as Bessie, and I would like to be able to capture that. So anyway, that's what I'm up to, is developing a small line of Frida Kahlos. What I would like to do is sell all three of these together, not separately. And then we'll have the figure portraits or the figure paintings available as well at some point. I'm going to start them this afternoon. This poor little Frida, I don't know what's going on. When we're looking at her in person, her eyes look perfectly fine. Looking at them in the camera, she's a little tilty. So we're going to have to fix that. We're going to have to fix that Picasso and get her right. And I'm incorporating her mustache, which I thought was so beautiful. I've always thought that was absolutely incredible and bold. I love people who are a little bit bolder and like, nah, I don't really care what you think. Blah, blah, blah. I'm doing what I do. So there we are. All right. This is Beck Lane on Catalyst & Company. If you'd like to help support Catalyst & Company, all the links will be down below, including TeePublic, where, as I said, you can get everything up to 40% off till midnight tonight. And again, today is Tuesday, November something or other, before Thanksgiving. But we've got Patreon, where you can supply monthly support. Now I'm doing private videos for patrons only, and they're not naughty. They're just a little bit more of an inside look into painting and, what I think, like anybody cares. But, they're just a little bit more of an inside view. And then we've got Cash App and PayPal. So if you'd like to help support Catalyst & Company, all the links are down below, as well as links to J. Louise at Blue Way Gallery, Chasen Galleries here in Sarasota, and Raphael Coelho up in New Jersey at Artfront Galleries in New Jersey. If you're interested in buying this set once it's all done, you can contact them or contact me. All right? And we'll take care of you. All right, ready, Carrie? Here we go. Meow, chow, chow. Oh, no, I did that backwards. Chow, meow, meow, meow.